Hello,
Hello, everyone.
we are live.
We are live. It is Monday, the 13th of July, and it's boiling. And I'm
Why did
moaning
you
again.
feel the need to tell everyone the date?
I don't
Interesting.
know.
It is a live show. We should probably talk about the fact that it's every day more. But yeah,
We're having microphone, there we go.
we're just trying to get the microphones right.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games with a studio in your home, a
Yeah.
podcast studio. Every single day we have to move the furniture around to make this possible. But for you,
Maybe one day we'll have our own studio in our house, like
Yes.
proper one.
Maybe
we can dream.
Yeah,
Actually, if we're going to be dreaming, I'll have a swimming pool.
No. I thought you were going to say a closet, but no, swimming pool.
Swimming pool. I know. I took it further. Swimming pool will be good.
I love it. So yeah, we have a very awesome episode today. We are going to be talking about how one content creator took his business from 0 to 50K per month in just 2 years, which is awesome.
Well, interestingly, not a content creator, a business owner who did that, but using content.
Very important distinction there.
Yes, not just a content creator. So first off, though, we've got some really interesting news from Shark Tank, or about Shark Tank. So I found this incredibly interesting because Mr. Beast and Stephen Bartlett are going to be featured as guests on Shark Tank.
And not to mention Mindy Kaling from The Office. We love The Office US. I love The Office UK as well, but she's not from the UK.
We prefer the US version.
Yeah, and it's difficult for us to admit that, but yes.
No,
better.
It's so much better.
So yeah, this is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really interesting. And I think this kind of caught my eye because traditionally on these types of shows, and obviously we have Dragon's Den, it's the equivalent in the UK, are traditionally kind of more investor types, so the types of business people that invest in businesses. But I think it's interesting that people who have built their businesses through using content creation and getting content out there are now the ones being featured on these shows. And I think that is showing really that there's been a shift between the traditional investor and a new type of business person that uses content to create a personal brand, to get themselves out there, to build trust in that way. And they are the ones that are more appealing to bring in audiences than maybe a traditional investor would be on something like Dragon's Den or Shark Tank. So I do think it's quite interesting. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how many more business owners are going to be going in that direction.
But also, if they're going on to Dragon's Den, very clearly they've made a lot of money from content if they're looking for businesses to invest. Yes. Or at least I assume it's their money and not just a gimmick to get on the show. I assume they're actually, using the money that they've earned from building an audience, from putting out some amazing content. But yeah, specifically Mr. Beast, that's a really interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously Stephen Bartlett's on Dragon's Den in the UK. But yeah, Mr. Beast is specifically very interesting because he started out as a content creator. He actually wasn't. He was a content creator turned business owner, not a business owner turned content creator. But it will be very interesting to see him on Mr. Beast. Now, I've seen him in interviews where people have asked him about his business operations and things like that, and it's quite fascinating. And he obviously has a huge team alongside him that manage all of that. But you can tell his passion lies in content creation rather than the business side of things.
I just don't know how he's got the time, honestly. Like he's always like managing like 3 or 4 videos at any given time. He's got all of his charity work. He's doing Beast Games. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, honestly. It is insane. It is insane. But it's it's very, very interesting. I think for many business owners, this is a definite sign that traditional ways of doing business and being quite invisible is not the way forward for many, many business owners. And if you can get yourself out there and build your own personal brand, you don't have to be as big as Stephen Bartlett or Mr. Beast, but at least in your niche, in your industry, then that's going to make a huge, huge difference. It's why so many millennials are buying traditional businesses like car valets or car washes, or I don't know why, laundries. I don't know why it's all to do with cars, but because they can bring that aspect of marketing to these old traditional businesses, the template is already there. It's already operationally running well. But if you can bring that, content marketing angle to it and get yourself out there, even with a business like a laundry or a car washing, then you can make a heck of a lot of money just from doing that and bringing that marketing knowledge to it.
Yeah, not to mention that when you have a distribution channel like Mr. Beast, like an audience and some followers for people like Mindy Kaling, is that you already have followers. So if you invest in products and you become a shareholder, how easy is it for you to increase the customers and the volume of sales that you get because you have that audience and you can talk about it? We were speaking on Friday about what Ryan Trahan did with his audience. He's got 15 million subscribers on YouTube, and he just created candy, and now he's got this incredible distribution channel.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
It's definitely interesting. I'm really excited to see Mindy as well.
I know, I can't wait. Awesome. So
first question, how dare you?
Absolutely. Okay, so today we really want to focus on this amazing story of a young chap who has started a business a couple of years ago and taken it from zero to $50,000 a month, which is wild, isn't it?
Yeah, really wild. Essentially, what he did was he started out with a $500 budget to come up with a cold coffee company. So he didn't actually have the budget to buy a big coffee machine and do hot coffee. So he had to do cold coffee, and he started out with a cart outside of a wine bar. And the reason why we've sort of brought this story to you is because of the way that he's grown his business. And this can apply to any business owner out there, in the sense that what he did was he sort of showed his entire journey. So he would post on social media. First, he wasn't doing very well, and then he started going on Instagram. And for a very, very long time, he would post stories and posts every single day, just documenting his own journey, going through the kind of highs and lows of running this company, how he had to get extra shifts at a restaurant to pay for it and things like that. So really showing the good and bad. And that's a really sort of clever technique of getting people behind you, isn't it?
It really, really is. And for the longest time, when we wrote our book, Content Fortress, there's a specific type of content that we always ask people to create, and it's called process content. And it's fascinating because now people are using it to be, transparent. This is my journey. But in reality, you're showing you the process that you use in order to, do what you do. And people find it fascinating. How many times are you on Instagram or TikTok and you're just scrolling and you end up watching this long video or like a multiple videos in this series, all for something that you have generally no interest in. So
I love carpet cleaning videos.
Carpet cleaning videos.
Love
it's process content.
It is. It's showing the process around what you do, and people find it fascinating. But yeah, I love. And if someone gets a rug and it's filthy, I'm like, oh, I'm settling into this video.
I'll tell you what I love. I'm not very DIY. I'm not very handsy.
You should see up here. It's like.
Yeah, when I was building the studio, I put like holes everywhere. You can't see it, but you can probably see it if you're watching on TikTok. There's some holes up here, somewhere up there, where I've tried to like fix a bracket to the wall. Anyway, I'm not good at DIY, and I generally don't have that much interest in it. But when I see someone like building a table or doing something in the garden or renovating something, I'm just like, I'm in. I'm all in. I'm watching them. I'm watching the little speed up and the little sound effects and stuff. And I'm there and I'm watching it. And I have no interest in building a table or using a drill generally. But it's fascinating how that kind of captures your attention, isn't it? Because it's honest, it's truthful. You see someone doing what they love to do, doing it in the way that they do it. Yeah. And that's what this chap did, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's something that we can all identify with as well. I think that, if someone's going through the highs and lows of something, we can get behind them. But if you just turn up and you've already got this perfect little business, it's a little bit more difficult. So I think if you can document your journey, particularly if you can do it kind of day by day, that's an incredibly powerful tool that you can use. And Obviously, sometimes it helps if you've got something like coffee or art or carpet cleaning, something where people can actually see. But you can do this if you run any kind of business. Having sequential daily content that says day 1 of doing this, day 2 of doing this. It's becoming more and more prevalent. I'm seeing this quite a lot, and people follow along for the journey. So I think it's a really good content strategy, particularly if you are starting out and maybe you haven't got much funds, but this is a great way of getting some eyeballs on you, on your content, and making people fall in love with you. So it's an incredibly powerful thing to do. And if you are just starting out, it's one thing that I would recommend to anyone.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is this build in public thing, which is what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting because the opportunities didn't come from people buying coffee from him, even though he was, it started a coffee business. They came from the opportunity from social media, didn't they?
Yeah.
It wasn't as clear cut as, oh, I'm posting about coffee and I'm trying to grow the business. It was other further opportunities that he probably didn't even expect.
Yeah. It was essentially, so this is one thing that people don't talk about when it comes to content creation. Everyone thinks I'm going to create content and I'm going to get more leads and sales. What people do is they sometimes get more views and don't get any leads and sales, or they give up entirely. But that's what we think happens. But actually, what happens when you create content and if you start gaining traction, then so many more other opportunities open up. So for him, what he did is he started creating content. But what he found was, yes, it helped face-to-face sales, and that was great. But he started getting contracts with people at events. So people wanted to bring his coffee cart over to events, things like weddings or festivals or business events. And he would sell coffee in those places. And that was highly lucrative because you've got thousands of people there potentially, that can be customers. So that actually was the thing that led him to 50,000 a month. It wasn't particularly the face-to-face sales. It was the other opportunities that came up. And often in business, what we find is if you put ourselves out there more and more, then opportunities sort of land in your lap, and people call it lucky. It's not lucky. What it is you're actually getting your face out there and you're building something, and people are finding you. And opportunities that you never really thought about. So for example, I don't think Brandon, who ran this company, I don't think he set out to cater for events, cater coffee for events, but that's how things ended up because people started requesting it off him. And that's exactly how we started with content creation. We were web designers originally, and we grew our web design agency by creating content. And we thought, well, why don't we write a book about how we grew our web design agency creating content? So we did. We wrote the book, we published it. We were still doing web design at this point, but people started getting in touch and saying, can you do my content? Can you do my content just like you've done in the book? Like, I know you've given away everything in the book and I've got all the ideas. It's just I don't have time to do it. And we thought, why don't we do that? The more you put yourself out there, the more opportunities will arise, and the more kind of business ideas almost that you'll get, and you'll think, oh, okay, I didn't think about this before, but actually now I can kind of go in this direction, I can go in that direction, that's more profitable. Just so many more opportunities happen, don't they?
Oh, big time. And some of the biggest opportunities that we've ever had are because of our content. So like Lindsay mentioned, you might go in with one particular goal and then you'll have opportunities sprung upon you. For instance, we got invited on podcasts. We got invited to give presentations to other people's communities so that we're able to get clients. We got invited onto some of the biggest stages here in the UK to present our idea and training. And then you get bigger client opportunities as well, all because you are prepared to put out content that's not perfect, but you have this conviction to serve your audience, to go live, to record short videos or long videos or blog posts. You have this deep-rooted need and desire to just download your experience and your stories and your strategies and give them away for free. And then all of the opportunities come in, and people have this belief that, oh, why would I give away all my knowledge for free when I could be charging for it? And it's the most backwards way of content ever.
You can watch every single DIY video under the sun. He's not doing it.
I'm buying that table. I'm not building it. But the same goes, you can buy a recipe book from Gordon Ramsay, but if you're in New York and you see the Gordon Ramsay restaurant, you're going to go to it.
If you want the beef Wellington, then I'm not making it.
No, exactly. I'm not going to, something even as simple as steak. You're not making it.
No.
but that's the point, isn't it? We are in this content-rich world now, and your only option is to give more transparent content. Don't hide behind your logo. Your personal brand is the biggest lever that you have. It's the biggest ROI that you will have in your business is from doubling down on your personal brand. LinkedIn recently did the research, and they said that your personal brand and your personal profile is 20 times more likely to get views than your business page on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Now, technically, we are going live right now on LinkedIn as well, but it's an extra avenue. But you need to lean into the personal brand. And the only way you're going to grow your personal brand is from sharing your personal experience, your personal strategies, your personal hints and tips and stories. That's the way to grow your business.
And your failures and your successes.
Exactly. Well. Yeah, exactly. If you aren't feeling up for it today, pull out your phone and say that.
Yeah.
If you've had ups and downs, be honest about it. The more honest and transparent you can be within your content, the easier it is for people to know you, like you, and trust you, and keep coming back for more.
Yeah, actually, that's really interesting that you say that, because I don't really open many kind of marketing emails, but I had an email from Teresa Heath Waring, who's a launch specialist. She's really good at launches. And in it, I think the subject line was, "I'm not feeling it today." And automatically, I just wanted to click on it and it was a really good story that she told in this email. But it automatically made me want to click on it, because I was like, oh, why is she not feeling it today? Yeah. But I think sharing that and being open and vulnerable is incredibly powerful. And obviously this has worked for Brandon, but it can work for many business owners as well. And I'm not saying that you have to, open up entirely, but just revealing that not everything is sunshine and rainbows every single day is enough to get people to connect with you.
Yeah, people love an underdog, and that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about with this chap as well, and Teresa. And in fact, one of the hooks of the day that we shared last week was "I messed up." I messed up is extremely honest. If you've messed up about something in the past and you want to share it, it's a great way for you to open your content. And that's basically what, I messed up today. I'm not feeling it. Or I can't believe I made this mistake. Like, that kind of content is super intriguing and super endearing, really, isn't it?
I think what's brave, though, is rather than waiting until you've solved the problem, the bravest thing is saying, I'm in this shit right now. Something's going wrong right now. And just telling people about it. That's always really difficult. It's kind of easier to talk about the past and when things were going wrong and how you fixed it, but what is really difficult, and I find this incredibly difficult, but it's extremely powerful, is to say in the moment when things are going wrong, to tell people that they're going wrong and why and what you're going to do about it. People will really get behind you if you do that in the moment, and that's probably even harder, I think, than anything else.
It's almost impossible. We have clients who are ultra successful, like 7-8 figure entrepreneurs who work with us, and they find it the most difficult because they have this respect and this caliber and this energy around them, which is I am on top of the world and I'm going for gold. So someone like that finds it incredibly difficult, because how are they going to look on YouTube? How are they going to look on LinkedIn when they've amassed this huge successful group of people? So, and it is incredibly difficult. And we've seen people like Alex Hormozy be ultra confident and unshakable. And then he did an interview with Tony Robbins, and people, he was a little bit more vulnerable, and people reacted in a way that I don't think anybody expected, where they're like, oh, he's not this rock. He's not this person that we expected him to be. A lot of people don't mind, and they love that kind of content. But it was an interesting debate that people had, which is, should you be vulnerable? Now, you have a unique opportunity if you're just starting out and you haven't put out a lot of content, in the fact that now is the easiest time ever to be vulnerable, to open up on social media, to actually put out content and say that you're struggling, just like Lindsay mentioned, because people love that underdog story. And you can take them with you as you climb that mountain. As you put out more content, you can share the ups and the downs, and you'll get opportunities, and you get people patting you on the back and encouraging you. If you are honest and transparent about your struggles, then very few people will say, you know, oh my goodness, you don't know what you're talking about, because you're saying it yourself. It's kind of like at the end of 8 Mile, where, you know, it reveals all of his insecurities and the guy's got nothing to say. It's like, you're the one saying it. You're the one sharing your journey and telling people that you're struggling. So there's nothing anyone can say. On the flip side, if you show up and tell everybody you've got it all figured out and people need to listen to you, that's when people have the resistance to connect.
Yeah. I think unless you've got undeniable proof that, you know, you have it all figured out and someone should listen to you, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, but you have to have undeniable proof. And I think I see a lot of kind of, particularly, I'm stereotyping, so I'm sorry, but particularly kind of young men start creating content, and, you know, I don't think they've ran a business for longer than 5 minutes, some of them, and they're kind of speaking like, you know, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, when actually, you know, they don't have any proof of that success. So I think coming in and showing your journey and being a little bit more open and honest is a better strategy. Not a particular strategy you might use when you're at 7 or 8 figures, but a strategy to use when you're first starting out.
Yeah. It's a cheat code.
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
And that's what this chap did to grow his business. And he got there within 2 years, was it?
Yeah,
2 years from zero, brand new business, struggling coffee shop owner, to $50,000 a month. Yeah. Coffee cart owner, not even coffee shop owner.
Oh, wow. So really, really impressive.
Incredible.
And I think another thing from this story was the fact that the opportunities that came to him are opportunities that he'd never even considered before. And that is something that happens when you create content all the time. Things you won't have even considered before happen. And the benefits we've personally got from creating content have surprised us, particularly things like hiring a team. When we first went out with an ad for our first hire, I mean, we had over 500 applicants, something like that. And these were amazing people, absolutely amazing people. And I was absolutely stunned, but so many of them already knew who we were. They were talking about our book, I've read your book, or they were talking about, you know, the content, the blog content that we'd put out at the time when we made our first hire. They were talking about all of that because they felt like they already knew us, and they would make little jokes in the covering letter and things like that would, you know, about Star Wars or Harry Potter and things like that, because they knew us so well. And for a company that's just faceless, that just has a logo, hiring a team, hiring people when you have no one that's excited about working with you, that thinks, oh, I'd love to work with that person, they seem amazing, I'd love to learn from them. If you don't have that, then it's quite difficult to hire. And it was one of the surprising things, I think, that from creating content, I've realized that actually makes hiring amazing people so much easier, because they are excited to work with you and people know you and they want to work with you. And that was probably the biggest surprise to me, but the best surprise.
Absolutely. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So yeah, great story. Just goes to show, be more vulnerable, be more transparent.
Create that content and new opportunities will come up.
Fantastic. Okay, so the other thing we wanted to talk about today is that over the weekend, I noticed something on LinkedIn. And I don't know if you can see it from this screenshot here, but I shared a post on, I think it might be Friday, Saturday. And it's a post about the fact that we've just launched an app. We already have a software company, but we've been trying to get it through Apple. It's been a lot of back and forth, but we've finally got our app live and our developers have done a great job. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that if you can see my screen right now, that we've got a tiny little badge in the top left of this image that has a CR. And I believe this is content credentials. And it essentially says that AI was used to generate all of this image. And it also showed you a little bit of information about when it was done. It's got the date and the fact that it used OpenAI within this image. Now, I've never seen this before, but when I was adding this, I got this pop-up and I'm like, this is brand new, or at least I've never seen it before. So now, essentially that means, and bear in mind, the image was a combination of me using Photoshop and screenshots, and then I combined it with ChatGPT to say, please make this into an iPhone app. So I'm sure you've taken screenshots before and it looks a bit boring and bland. So I threw it into ChatGPT, and they've got one of the best AI models right now for images. So I'm just like, I'll just mock up some iPhone images with these screenshots and this background. And they did. But because I use AI, they have automatically told everyone who sees that post.
Oh, most of it isn't AI.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's literally a photograph of me. It's not AI. But it's screenshots from our app.
You cheated, Martin.
I know. But it just goes to show that you've got to be, first of all, you've got to be careful, because again, people don't engage with AI content as much if they know it's AI. And now LinkedIn and probably the other social media accounts as well, they're going to label things. And we said this with YouTube last week. They're labeling things as AI. AI was used on Amazon. You can't write a book and publish it if you've used AI without labeling it as AI was used during this book. So all of these companies understand that AI is going to be used, but you have to now be honest. And even if you don't go out there and say, they are able to use their detection devices in order to tell if it's OpenAI. This is probably super simple because I'd have just uploaded my images, downloaded it, and it saves it.
ChatGPT on the file name.
So, but I don't even know if I did, because usually I'm good at changing it. So they'll know from the metadata of the image. So I'm sure there's ways around it. But I say all of that to say that that's an example of how social media is changing. The more AI that people use and to create, the more obvious it's going to be that AI is used, and the less likely people are going to be to respect the content if they think AI has been used. It's not good, because sometimes you do download your thoughts into AI, even if it's your voice recording or your video word for word. And if you plug it into AI, you might in fact be notifying your audience that AI has been used to create it, and it'll devalue your amazing insights.
Yeah. And you've noticed this with you. I remember you saying something over the weekend about YouTube thumbnails and the fact that, well, you explained YouTube thumbnails and AI.
Yeah, exactly. So AI has been used in thumbnails for a long time, but in terms of when you go to YouTube now and you actually add a video, the description, it says, did you use AI in this video? With thumbnails, I think there's always been a little bit of AI used in design.
Yeah, but you notice the design. I think the ones that look like they're not using AI actually perform better than the ones that, you know, are clearly AI generated thumbnails.
It's the same with social media now. Everybody's laughing because you go to ChatGPT and you say, create me like a local farmer's market brochure, and somebody else says a little football festival, and they're all using the exact same fonts and styles.
You go around, you just drive around our area. It's like, you know, when you have summer festivals and they're all using they all look exactly the same because people are using ChatGPT. But yeah, I think that the less that you use AI, the more attention that you'll get. And there's a real opportunity if you're going to be creating things from scratch to actually get more, even if it's not as good, which it won't be unless you're a graphic designer or something. You know, you'll potentially get more traction because people will know that you've done it yourself. So it's really interesting.
Absolutely. So we're at time. So as usual, every single day we'll be sharing our hook of the day. So Lindsay, what is our hook today?
Okay, but hardly anyone bothers with this, but it's the easiest way to blank.
Very cool. So hardly anyone bothers with this, but this is the easiest way to get content ideas if you're struggling, as an example. Or hardly anyone bothers with this, but if you want to get a massive tricep, this is
just one.
This is the equipment. Massive triceps, and this is the equipment that you need to use in the gym. Like, you could use that in any niche.
Yes,
any niche, kind of content.
Any kind of content.
Hardly anyone bothers with this, and it works because it's, again, FOMO. Like, hardly anyone bothers with this. Oh well, what's the secret? What's the information?
What is it?
Like I'm interested. So that's a good one. Then we'll use that one. Amazing. So as always, we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 1 o'clock UK time. And we'll bring you more up-to-date knowledge on content creation and AI so that you can improve your content and become way more bingeable for your audience. Awesome.
Thanks. See you tomorrow.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.